Hey everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today I'm so excited to talk about this video. It could be one of the more life-altering videos that any of you watch, so share it with people who are under the age of 26. We're going to be talking with the director of the PNG NextGen program, Hunter Hicks, about one of the coolest things that the numismatic industry has done for supporting young coin dealers or people who are interested in becoming coin dealers in a long time. Let's get into the interview. Hello, everybody. Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be talking with Hunter Hicks. He is the director of PNG NextGen, which is a coin mentorship program, and we had met through some PNG sponsored activities in the past a couple of years ago. Then I saw he was running the program, and I wanted to find out more about what's going on. So thanks for joining, Hunter.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
So I guess I figured I should probably ask you to start, but could you give me an overview of what PNG NextGen is? Because I want people to know that it's super exciting to me, but to give them a sense for what it's all about.
Yeah, so the PNG NextGen program is meant to work with up and coming young numismatists to help them grow into successful coin dealers in the future. So there's a lot of programs now between like various kind of summer programs, and this is more meant to be like a year-round type kind of program where we offer supported coin shows in terms of like getting badges, having a table, providing different webinars, a lot of different networking opportunities at shows, and just basically kind of filling any gaps and helping people become coin dealers.
That's great. I mean, I feel like the mentorship culture has been something so consistent in my time within coins. There's like Chris Moran, who owned the local coin shop. That's actually pretty, well respected coin shop. But he had kind of trained me since I was about 13, and then through some of the different, I think Witter Coin and the PNG sponsored ANA summer seminar that I had attended, like those were huge stepping stones for being more on a broader scale within numismatics. So that's I think a lot of what I was so excited to generally understand. And I think in terms of what you see, like the how people could benefit from it, I would imagine that a lot of that is just getting the perspective of older numismatists, but you might have some other views on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can definitely relate. And growing up, I worked for Win Herndon, who's now a PNG and NextGen mentor. And then a similar stuff with going to Witter, meeting people there, going to summer seminar, meeting more mentors there. So I mean, I feel like that's one of the great parts about this hobby and why it's able to keep growing and sustain itself is there's like this flow of people always willing to help. So this is just kind of a way to centralize that. And yeah, a lot of it is just connecting people with various leaders of the hobby, which often like a lot of the people who are taking a strong role on this, like John Brush and Jeff Garrett and Greg Rowan at Heritage, are some of the biggest names in the hobby. And people like that a lot. There can be a lot learned from. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of just spreading that through various events, and it's worked out really well so far. I mean, a lot of people have made friends and mentors and kind of everything we'd hope from it.
Totally. And for viewers context, this was something that I was excited about as a mentee. So I'm not a mentor, but I was excited to get paired. Hunter, I think, thought of some of the picks, and these were guys that I had heard of and known of. And maybe I'll probably reveal who they are at a different later time. I'm not sure if they would want to be mentioned or not, but it's like there's so many different paths and different like angles in which different people have carved out niches for themselves within coins, and it seems like there's just a big breadth of people that can be matched, and it's for under 25. I feel like I was like, oh, it's probably like under 18. Some of the past scholarships or opportunities were for a little bit younger, but I feel like there's still a lot of numismatists who maybe are getting a little more serious as well, who are in the kind of middle 18 to 25, like early adulthood, but maybe they're actually an adult by that point. So, yeah, it just seemed like there was a ton to get out of it. I'm curious from your view, and I don't know, had you been with it since inception, but how it kind of started and what the kind of nexus of it was.
Yeah. So at one point, Mark Salzberg, who was the founder of NGC, he's kind of like the probably the visionary for it, where it's like, look, like there's all these programs over the summer that are awesome. but also like when actually people are at shows and such, like there isn't that same level. There's not like a program for that yet, and kind of just like a more general mentorship structure. So he was the like, original funder for it and kind of the visionary. And then it was originally taken on by someone else, Amanda Blattel, who like did an incredible job getting it running. And I've been blessed to be able to kind of been handed such a like a program in great shape. So that was kind of how it got started. And now we're kind of just expanding it in different ways. So it originally started like at just dinners at shows, which worked really well, and it was a great way to just meet people. And then from there, expanded into having dealer badges at shows and having webinars. Like we have one on Monday on like coin show preparation. And now we're also trying to expand it into like a more formal like internship based kind of structure where there's it makes it just a lot easier to reach out to specific people at various companies for internships. And so there's really like almost a formal structure through NextGen to kind of immediately get a job in coins or immediately get a summer internship. So yeah, it's kind of just kept expanding in different ways.
No, it's so exciting. That like makes me so happy to hear, and it's wonderful that that's like becoming more formalized. I remember how much fun I had down in Dallas, Texas, for a summer with Heritage, and who knows if I'll go back to work there someday. I would probably love to, but I think some of the classic path in coins seem to be like go to A&A summer seminar in the '80s and like get a job at Heritage, and then all of a sudden, that's what my boss, who's that summer, who was quite senior at Heritage, did. And so it was funny to see it playing out because we had met actually at that stage at Wittercoin, and then kept in touch. And then the following summer, I was down having a blast in Texas. So that's very exciting, and it's cool because I feel like, and I know this is more dealer focused than collector focused, but really anybody, I think, who is like carries themselves well, is honest and trustworthy, and isn't going to steal coins or like give a company bad image, is very likely to be able to land very solid jobs and with performance. But I don't think that the performance is just like, can you be organized? There's maybe some other jobs, and hopefully this doesn't come across as like in a bad way or anything, but like I think it's very, you can clearly chart a path with hard work, but like reasonable hard work to success in the coin business world is the sense that I have. I don't know.
I would agree with that. Yeah. I mean, I think I interned for CAC the past couple summers, and that like I literally sent a DM to John Albanese on Instagram and it worked out. So I definitely like if you know who to reach out to, I agree. It seems like it's fairly easy an internship. The part of the thing that we're trying to solve or at least help with is make sure everyone has that opportunity, because I think once you have it, like there's so many different opportunities, for employment or internships or any of that kind of stuff.
100%. I mean, I really, I loved working in the coin shop over the summer, but I had no idea before I went to the summer seminar and Witter, and those were like, because I saw something on social media. Maybe some people listening now will have it, but like just really didn't understand the magnitude and opportunity for what could be out there. So that's why I feel like the NextGen is awesome. Plus, like the dealer resources. I'm curious if there's any other talks. I'm hoping that I can make that one. Have to figure it out with my Pacific time work schedule. But some of the other like talks or components that you might have planned, or where you could imagine NextGen going and taking steps towards in the future.
Yeah, I mean, so we're trying to kind of get it set up on like a monthly like webinar basis, because there's just been so many different topics where it's like, I mean, some of it's boring, like somewhat boring, but still super necessary, like various tax code or AML planning, which you end up needing to do as a coin dealer. And then other stuff in terms of like, I'm trying to think of past ones too, like sourcing inventory or pricing, and that kind of stuff. Because we're like another one of the mentors, pretty much everyone at Gray Sheet is not directly involved, but in some way is like a mentor for some people there. So what's great is just I feel like we have I feel like we have resources to basically anyone in PNG, and everyone so far at least has been super willing to help. So I feel like I can pick the brain of basically anyone in it. And then in terms of more like just concrete benefits, we also have partnerships with Gray Sheet and with Wizard Coin Supply, So there's discounts for members, for NextGen members, for all that kind of stuff. Gray sheet subscriptions, and then coin supplies. So there's some stuff like that too, where it just like just economically is just super helpful.
Totally. I get, yeah, no, it's seems like it's hitting on all the fronts. I know one question that I picked up on was, it sounds like there is some kind of like in-person component maybe at some of the shows that you mentioned with dinners, but I remember the two like week-long events I did, seminar and Witter, met like a really fun cast of now friends and coin dealers, and that's how we met. But I assume that there's still some of that fun too, kind of energy of meeting a bunch of other young coin dealers. Have you seen that at any of the
Yeah,
events?
absolutely. So I think there's events, and then there's also just the show itself. So at the most major shows now, we're trying to have like a next gen table, and so basically what that does is allow, buying a table at a show can be $1,000+, but this creates a space where anyone can really set up their product, for buying or selling, or just a place to like go do deals while on the floor. So that, I mean, that's super helpful, and there's constantly kids. I mean, constantly mentees there that people can interact with. Not that it's super hard to find people at a coin show once you're on the floor. And then at the actual dinners themselves, we also are trying to do that kind of at all the major shows. And that's very similar, where it's a layout of all the mentors that can come and all the mentees who can come. So it's like a much less formal environment. And, for me, I love it because I don't feel like I'm wasting anyone's time by just getting to know them. Not that, there's just times when like you're on the coin show floor and it's like, we're all only here for 8 hours or whatever. And I don't want to, spend an hour talking to somebody about just kind of for fun. But the dinners kind of create like a great environment for that, where it's, you and a few other mentees and then a few mentors too. And I don't know, it kind of just, it creates a lot more one-on-one relationships versus just, a transactional, like buying and selling something on the floor, which I love. I love the people in this hobby. That kind of is what keeps me driven to it. So the fact that I can interact, kind of from that perspective is like, I don't know, it's like the highlight of every show now for me.
Absolutely. I feel like the people in it are so fun. And I think that was somebody at Heritage that told me it's like it's fun to be in a job where you're making people's day and you're interacting with people who, and maybe this doesn't apply as much to wholesale, but I still feel like people generally as coin dealers really like their job. And also you're helping serve a hobby of people that are doing it mostly for fun.
Yeah.
And even if there's a little, I don't know, investing or some component of that, like people aren't buying coins because they, I don't know, are being forced to. So,
Right. Yeah, exactly.
well, that's great. Is there anything that I missed? I'm sure I'll have like a link at the top of the description so that people can click and potentially become involved if they're interested in it. But I want to make sure that there's nothing that we didn't cover.
Trying to think. I mean, definitely like I would recommend anyone to apply if they're, I think it's 15 to 25 is the age range. And I'm trying to think what else. I mean, I feel like there's countless benefits. So I always forget something. Like I'm just reading now. I'm like, oh, we also do summer seminar scholarships, through the NextGen. I mean, through NextGen. So I'm probably missing some benefit, but yeah, definitely like, please go check out the website, PNG NextGen. Hopefully it'll be linked in the description. But yeah, I'm sure there's tons of people who watch this who can benefit from it. And, we're just kind of here to help the coin community. It's not like this is like a for-profit entity or in any way. So yeah, thank you so much.
Totally. Awesome. Well, I'll try to get you back and maybe we can chat about some of the dealing that you're up to separate from the PNG
Yeah, absolutely.
components. But hopefully maybe a few people, I often will text Seth about how impactful him picking me for the program was. And so maybe some people watching the video are about to change their future by joining NextGen and taking advantage of what it has to offer. So thanks again for hopping on.
Yeah, hope we can help.
Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to head on over to treasuretown.com and sign up for our email list to stay up to date on everything that's happening, whether it's auction updates, exciting new inventory drops, coin collecting news, or general informational resources. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on another one.